Hello again, everyone. Michael here with Felicity, November 8033 Fox, a Cessna flight training device that I built right here at home. It is the 19th of April 2025, one day before Easter. I do hope you are all well and safe wherever you may be around the world. Real quick, I want to give a thank you to a new channel follower, Charlie No Fun. Came in with a channel follow while we were offline earlier, so I appreciate that. Look forward to flying with you at some point in time. So welcome back, and the focus today, just going to be doing some instrument approach practice, departing out of my home airport here in central Ohio. Sort of goes tandem with me being a current instrument student. Now, what are we going to do? Where we're going to fly? Let's go ahead and kind of figure that out real quick. Let's take a look at ForeFlight. Here we are at 4 India 9er. There's a lot of small local private airports close by, obviously none of which are going to have an instrument approach. I think I want to check out what approaches might be available at Delaware. Kilo Delta Lima Zulu. Now, I've flown into this airport several times in the real world, but always under VFR conditions, so I honestly don't know what approaches are going to be available there. So let's take a quick look and let's see. Let's take a look at procedures, approaches. So we have RNAV approaches for the runway, both ends 10 and 28, and we have a VOR approach for runway 28. I might be up for a bit of a challenge, so let's take a look at this VOR runway 28 approach real quick, see if this is something that we can actually fly. I say that because there are several VORs in the area that are going away and are no longer commissioned, and if this VOR approach uses one of them, it's really not going to benefit us. But taking a look here, it does. Okay. There are some radials off of the Buckeye or Bud VOR, which unfortunately is out of service, so I'm surprised that this approach is still here. But do we need that Buckeye VOR? One of the initial approach fixes is the Appleton VOR. And if we were to go to Appleton, man, that's a bit of a ways away from the airport. You know, with the cost of avgas, I'm not sure I necessarily want to do that. But unfortunately, any of the other fixes are going to rely on the Buckeye VOR. So let's go ahead and nix that one for now. That leaves us with RNAV 10 and 28. Both of them are GPS approaches. It's an east-west runway. But which runway we're going to use? And the best way to determine that is to take a look at the local weather. Now, it has been pretty windy today. I haven't looked at any METARs yet, so let's just kind of take a look and see what the weather is reporting. Winds are 330 at 9 knots, so runway 28 would be the preferred. We have a broken layer at 3500 and overcast at 4100. Temperature is 15, dew point 12, altimeter 3021 with a density altitude of 1037 feet. So runway 28 and winds are out of 330 at 9er. So we're going to have a bit of a crosswind component on landing there. Density altitude is 1037, so our aircraft's going to perform like we're at 1945 feet upon landing. Alright, so we decided runway 28. Let's take a look at this approach, and let's go ahead and brief this approach. Okay, so this is a WAS approach into the Delaware Municipal Airport. It's an RNAV approach, runway 28. On the missed approach, we are going to climb to 2,600 feet direct to Mosque and hold. AWAS frequency, we're not really gonna apply to us today because we're on VATSIM, but that is the real world frequency. And I don't think we'll have Columbus approach online. We are going to be talking to Indy Center. But since this airport is uncontrolled, we do need to understand that the CTAF frequency is 122.7 after we are cleared for the approach. Procedure is not available for arrivals at Meeks on V38 northwestbound, so we're good to go there. The initial fix is Pycom at or above 3,000 feet. We're coming from the northeast, so we can probably grab, what is this, I-10? I-T-E-N-Y, which will take us to Pycom for initial fix at or above 3,000, and then from there we've got 7.2 DME until we get to the final approach fix of Weebut, Whiskey Echo Bravo Uniform Tango, and that is at or above 2,600 feet. And then from there we're along the final approach course of 284 degrees until we get to our decision altitude of 1,195 feet with 78 statute mile of visibility. And of course, that's on the LPV approach. If we do have to go LNAV or VNAV, our decision altitude is 1,406 feet with 1 3/4 mile visibility. And then if we're on the LNAV minimum descent altitude, that is going to be 1,420 feet with 1 mile visibility. Now, I'm fairly confident with our GTN 650XI that we will be able to fly the LPV approach on this RNAV 28 into Delaware. So if we look at our profile view, final approach at or above 2,600. Decision altitude 1,195. So we have about 1,400 feet with 3.7 nautical miles. Actually closer to 4.7, 5.2 nautical miles ish from final till we actually get to a missed approach point. Then, of course, if the winds were to shift and we do want to fly this RNAV 28 approach and circle to land runway 10, our MDA is going to be 1,420 feet. So let's plan on that. Let's go ahead and plan and file the RNAV approach out of the Morrow County Airport for Indian Niner into the Delaware Municipal Airport, Delta Lima Zulu. And that ought to work. And then from there, we'll figure out what our next destination is going to be. And we are going to be wearing the foggles throughout a majority of this flight. Once we get airborne and established, we'll put those on and then see what we can do about just tracking the instruments until we get on, until we get essentially our decision altitude there, or just above. We'll say just above the minimums at DLZ. So, let's go ahead. Let me connect to VATSIM real quick. I did confirm with our friendly Indy Center controller that he will be available quite late this evening, so we are going to have coverage. Let's connect here and type 172. Call sign is correct. Alright, let's go ahead and file our flight plan while we're sitting here in the hangar. It's going to be easier to do that. While we're right here. And we'll switch back over. Call sign November 8033 Foxtrot. We are IFR. We're going to be a Type 172. Lightweight category. We're a light aircraft. Equipment. We have GPS on board. Let's file slant golf. We're going to leave the transponder field blank. Departures for Indian Niner. Off block time, let's go 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So 0, 2, 1, 5 sounds about right. By the time we get in, do walk around and pre-flight. Altitude, that's one thing we didn't discuss. Let's take a moment here. It's a relatively short flight. So I would say maybe 4,000 feet. Let's do 4,000 feet, see how that works. Airspeed, let's say 100 knots. 110 knots. Arrival, Kilo Delta Lima Zulu. We're not going to file an alternate as close as the airport is. En route time, let's factor that real quick. So let's go ahead and put in flight plan 4i9-KDLZ procedure approach RNAV 28. And which fix did we decide on? The ITENY fix? Yeah. ITENY is going to be our initial fix. Let's do the LPV. And we'll add this to our route here. ITENY. Okay. That's what I needed to know. Go ahead and quickly pack for this. Then we'll continue to file our flight plan. Okay. ITENY, India, Tango, Echo, November, Yankee. Let me put that in here so I don't forget the name of that fix. En route time for flight factors us about 21 minutes or so. Let's just say 25 minutes. Bit of a headwind, it looks like. En route time 0025. And I decided on 4,000 feet. Fuel endurance, we're going to have about 4 hours of fuel on board. I know that much. Okay, everything looks good there. In the remarks section of our flight plan, I'm going to put the Twitch channel name. Then we're going to put thank you. All of our VATSIM controllers volunteer their time to do this. Oh my gosh, and we're coming in with a raid from Sim Caesar. 95 viewers. Well, you guys are just in time. Welcome on in, everyone. Wow, thank you so much for that epic raid, Mr. Sim Caesar. The man, the myth, the legend. Greatly appreciated. Welcome on in, everyone. My name is Michael. I'm going to be your pilot today as we do some IFR practice work out of my home airport, and we're going to be doing some short IFR hops under India Center today. So welcome on in, everyone. Greatly appreciated. Yes, Peter Mooney, pleasure, my friend, and Monster, thank you so much. Thank you again so much, Sim Caesar. I hope your stream went well. I did see you flying. I was unfortunately on my way home, so I wasn't able to pop in. Let's file this flight plan. So I wasn't able to pop in, unfortunately, but wow, wow. Always so humbled to have such a wonderful, epic raid from Mr. Sim Caesar. Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome on in. Again, my name is Michael. Just filed our flight plan out of the Morrow County Airport. We are heading to Delaware for our first instrument approach. We decided on the RNAV 28, and yeah, we were just getting ready to head to the aircraft and do our walk around. So stick around, and I will see you over at the plane momentarily. And thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much. I'll see you there in just a minute. Alright, here we are, and again, welcome on in, everyone, and again, Mr. Sim Caesar, greatly appreciate it, and new channel following from Grand Daniel. Thank you so much for following our channel here on Twitch. I greatly appreciate it. Alright, again, my name is Michael, and this is Felicity. You are on board of a Type 172 flight training device. Let's go ahead and get things started up here. Let's see here. I haven't flown in about a week or so, so we do need to give her a good thorough walk around. So we'll start by getting some switches on here. Beacon, landing, taxi light, nav light. So let's get strobes on and flaps down. Okay. Let's see here. Let's unmute this audio. Okay, audio's good to go. Thank you, Grand Daniel. Greatly appreciate it there. Alright, let's go ahead and start with our baggage door here. Baggage door is closed and secure. We'll take a look, move around to our left rudder cable that is tight. Rudder and aileron or elevator free and correct there. Our beacon and anti-collision light are working. It's kind of hard to tell with the collision light. It is daytime, but it is working there. Right rudder cable is tight. VOR antennas are in place and secure there with our nav antennas. Our right flap is tight. No signs of play there in the heim joints or linkage. We have a working strobe on the right with a green nav light. The right aileron is free and correct. The right main looks good, no signs of fluid leaks. We will move along to our front main. That looks good. The strut looks nice and high there. Exhaust is secure. No signs of cracks or chipping on our prop and spinner. Static source is free and clear. Our pitot tube is warm to the touch, so we can get our pitot heat off. Our stall horn is working, as well as our taxi light and landing light there, so we can get those loads off. Taxi and landing. We have a working strobe on the left and the red nav light, so we can go ahead and get strobes and nav lights off. Our left aileron is free and correct. That feels good. Our left flap looks good there. Heim joints are nice and tight. No play in the flap. That looks good. Our left main looks good. No signs of fluid leaks there. And our fuel caps are installed and streamlined. So we can go ahead and have a seat back in the cockpit. And that completes our walk around checklist. Grand Annual, yes I do. I was certificated on the 14th of July, 2023. And a current instrument student pilot out of the same airport that I was certificated at. Okay, take a look at our checklist here. Final walk around looks good. Passenger brief, I'm going to save everyone to 10 minutes and we'll just simply touch base on the safety acronym, discussing our seat belts, which work just like that in the seat belts of your automobile. Our air vents are in the top right and top left. You can't turn them off, but you can kind of rotate them up or down and move them in. It works on the ram airflow, so you really can't disable them, but you can direct that airflow or stop that airflow. And I got my private license on Peter Mooney's birthday. Outstanding. The fire extinguisher is located directly behind us, kind of right here. It sits in the console, just kind of unsnaps out of the clip. Pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the trigger, and sweep back and forth from side to side. Your exits are on the right and left. The doors open the same way you got in. They open outward, and then you just pull the handle, close them inward. If you see any airplanes while we're in the sky, please feel free to point them out. I do love hearing about other aircraft, especially while we're flying. And if you have any questions, now would be the time to ask them. Okay, takt time is 1048.8. I actually found out a way to modify this, so now my takt time actually represents my VATSIM hours. So I was able to figure out how to modify that on the instrument. So 1048.8 on the tach. Circuit breakers are all in, and our alternate static air is in. That completes our interior checklist. So we're going to move right along to our startup checklist. Seat track, let me get scooted up here so I can reach the flight controls. Okay, that feels good. Let's lower the seat just a little bit. Okay. Avionics are off, carb heat is off, mixture is going to go full rich. Throttle slight. Let's get 3 on the primer. It's pretty warm today. We'll only need about 3. There's 1. And 2. Gotta slowly pull the primer out and push it in. If you do it too fast, you can aerate your fuel system. Slowly pull it out and push it in. Alright, there's 3. Primer is in and locked. Brakes are gonna go on. Clear prop. Let's go ahead and take a look. Make sure that we are clear on the left and clear on the right. Clear front, clear behind us. Everything looks good there. Alright. Master's gonna go on. Beacon's already on from our pre-flight there. Okay, and mags are gonna go to start right away. I'm looking for oil pressure and RPM. If I don't have either of those, I need to shut the engine off because there's a problem. Here we go, clear. Okay, Brian, welcome on in all the way from Canada. I'm departing my home airport. We're going to be doing some instrument approaches, just to sort of kind of supplement my real world training. So welcome on in. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Okay, we do have engine RPM and oil pressures in the green. That completes our startup checklist here. So, most recent addition, 5.1 surround sound here in the cockpit. So I got 3 channels up front with a subwoofer. I got 2 speakers behind me. It's really kind of really enhanced my experience in here. So what I am realizing that after I did that, messing with all the adjustments, is that my exterior sounds I no longer hear through the headphones, and I did that on purpose just to kind of that sort of mimics what what you would experience in the real plane. So I think for posterity's sake, I might go and turn that up just a little bit so that we can hear it right here in the, so you can hear it as well. So I will be right back. I'm going to head over to the X-Plane Master and turn the engine volume up just a little bit so we can get some audio in the headphones. There should be a little bit of engine audio, and yeah, I can hear that now. Okay. We are connected to the VATSIM network. Go ahead and get my seatbelt back on here, and then we will move right along. Okay, pre-taxi checklist, seat belts, that is on, just got that on, flaps going up. Avionics going on, bus 1, bus 2, 650s coming in live, G51, G52 is good, continue, nav database is up to date. If you're an X-Plane user, do yourself a favor and go ahead and grab the
TOS system test OK.
Grab the TDS Sim 650, 750 for X-Plane. The fact that it has Navigraph integration alone makes it completely worth it with up-to-date nav data versus the although it worked well, it works well still, but the Reality XP counterpart units just you were limited on your navigational data there. Okay, avionics are on, ANIS AWOS. Let's go ahead and grab local weather here.
Conditions scattered at 1,700, temperature 14, dew point 10, altimeter 3018. Automated weather observation, Morrow County. Wind 320 degrees 11 knots. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky conditions scattered at 1,800. Temperature 14. Dew point 10. Altimeter 3018.
TDS does rock. Yep, absolutely. Tiberio. I mean, I never pronounce his name right, and I feel so bad every time. Great guy. Really kind of great pleasure to work with and kind of help tailor the TDS Sim X-Plane. For the longest time, it wouldn't capture VOI1 in the 172, so he's really great with working with the customers and customer support. Absolutely. Iowa Scotsman, hello, welcome on in. Altimeter 3016, let's go ahead and get that set here. That looks good. Checks with field elevation of 1,086 feet. Transponders, get transponder onto altimeter reporting mode. ADS-B is tied into our 650, so that's on. Attitude indicator, brakes will test on the roll, as well as our turn coordinator will test that on the roll. Heading indicator to compass, let's go ahead and get that set now. Okay, that looks good about there. And that does complete our pre-taxi checklist, it seems. So we're going to use runway 28 for the winds. We are on Morrow County CTAF. So we'll make a traffic call, we'll taxi down to the threshold, and we'll go ahead and do our run up down there. Actually, you know what? We need to get clearance. Let's just get clearance here on the ramp. Might be a bit easier. And Indy Center this evening is gonna be 128.225.
Clear direct query for WestJet 2087. Thanks for the shortcut, I guess. It's kind of a shortcut.
Alright, so our flight plan is filed. We're good to go there. Alright, no reason why we can't call for clearance. Indianapolis Center, Skyhawk 803 Foxtrot. We're on the ground at the Morrow County Airport with the numbers looking to pick up IFR to Delaware.
033 Foxtrot, Indy Center on request.
Let's get our craft checklist pulled up here.
Number 8033 Foxtrot, Indy Center. You are cleared to the Delta Lima Zulu Airport as filed. Maintain 4,000, departure this frequency, squawk 4561, hold for release.
We are cleared to the Delaware Airport as filed. Fly 4000. Departure is with you. Squawk 4561. Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot.
033 Foxtrot, read back correct. How are you ready to go?
We're ready to go. Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot.
033 Foxtrot, stand by 1 second. Number 33 Foxtrot, you are released for departure. There's deployed if not off by 0232, time now 0227, and if not off by 0232, call this frequency not later than 0235. Report airborne, frequency change approved.
We're cleared for the lease. If not off by 0232, we'll be in contact. Talk to you soon. Skyhawk 8033 Fox. Alright, parking brake's gonna go off. Let's go ahead and switch over. Morrow County traffic, Skyhawk 8033 Fox at the ramp. We're gonna taxi runway 28 Morrow. So we got about 5 minutes till we can for us to be airborne. That's plenty of time for us to taxi down, do a quick run up, and get out. While we're taxiing down, destination DLZ, enter. Okay, activate. Flight plan, that's not what I want. Procedure, approach into DLZ. We're going to do the RNAV 28 GPS LPV. And transition, we're going to do ITINI, load approach, and activate. Alright, so we're going to be 4,000. Once we get up and established, we'll put our goggles on and apply the instruments. Now, FAR gives us plus 200 and minus 0, which is a bit different than the plus or minus 100 for a lot of VFR training. So if we bust that altitude, that's not good. So chances are I'm going to be flying slightly higher than what altitude might actually be assigned on especially on the approach, a step down approach. So if we're descending and we're coming up to our next altitude, say from 4,000 down to 3,000, I might go ahead and level us off about 3,100 or so, give myself a bit of wiggle room there. The one thing I did forget to mention is try not to have your microphone boom directly in the path of the airflow. Sometimes wind rushing past it will mess with the intercom, and if you can't hear yourself talk, then I can't hear yourself talk. We do have that wind coming in from the north, so I'm going to put a bit of wind correction in as we taxi down. I should have done that back down there. I did not. I'll call myself out on it. Actually, I had the wrong wind correction, and we want to kind of dive away from the wind on the taxi roll. Alright, here we are, hold short, let's do a quick run up, brakes are on, fuel is on both, trim is set for takeoff, flight controls, we are down on the right, up on the left, down on the left, up on the right, elevator, rudder is free and correct, okay, primer is in and locked, mixture's in for best power, 1600, here we go, hold brakes, hold the brakes. 1600, left mag, there's a bit of an RPM drop, let's get back to both. Right mag, there's a drop, back to both. Carb heat, there's our drop. Let's bring the power back, make sure we stay running with that carb heat on, looks good there. Okay, back up to about 1500. Let's turn that carb heat off, should take us back up to about 1600. Suction's in the green, oil pressure and oil temperature look good, fuel flow looks good. Alright, let's go ahead and idle back here. Alright, run-up checklist is complete. Did I miss anything? Nope, doesn't look like it. There, we are charging. Okay. Alright, pre-takeoff, flaps at 0, make sure best power, carb heat, okay, transponder, heading bug, let's just set that to runway heading for now. Okay, doors and windows, that's good, that's good. Okay, strobe's gonna go on. Alright, I think we're ready to go here. Release time was 0232. Yes sir. Dang, I'm 1 minute past. Moore County Traffic Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot is taking runway 28, Moore County. 1 minute past my release time. Okay, I guess that run-up took a little bit longer than I was expecting it to.
Approaching entered runway 28, 3,400 feet remaining.
Yeah, is that what I wrote down? 0232. Even at this uncontrolled field? Alright, good to know. I'm going to make a mental note of that. Okay, we're in the green. Airspeed's coming alive. I thought I was, once I was switch over to advisory, I'd called when airborne. Alright, good to know, Steven. Next time I'll make sure that I have all of my run-up and pre-flight and ready to go at the threshold. Okay, where we at? Okay. 400 feet. Alright, let's go ahead and get over.
That's 557, car maintain, up level 330. 330 to slip 597.
let's get on to Indianapolis Center, Skyhawk at 033 Foxtrot. We are 1,700, climbing 4,000.
November 33 Foxtrot, Indy Center, ident.
Identing, November 33 Fox.
November 33 Foxtrot, radar contact a mile west of Morrow County Airport. The Columbus altimeter 3021.
021, November 33 Fox.
Transfer 486, the Dayton altimeter 3022.
We may not even need the foggles today.
Bearings 486, the Dayton altimeter 3022.
3024, spin wind 86.
Tower 44, contact Memphis Center 124.27.
124.27, Tower 44 here.
Airways 486, information of Foxtrot is current. Expect the visual approach runway 28 left.
Expect visual trade left, speed wings 486.
Alright, we're climbing out about 90 knots or so. Up to 4,000 feet. Yeah, you know what? I'm just thinking back a couple minutes ago. He asked if we were ready. I was ready for taxi. I wasn't ready for takeoff. So I guess technically we could have done all of that, got to the hold short line, and then made the call. If he asked if we were ready, we could have said yes and just went ahead and gone.
Delta 2067, cross Colts at and maintain flight level 300.
Cold step at level 300 for Delta 2067.
Delta 163, contact global approach 132.07.
132.07, Delta 163, see ya.
Alright, so we're left of our course. Let's go ahead and try and get corrected back on that. We'll wait till we reestablish here. And that's another good possibility there, Peter. I guess I really need to get a better understanding of that.
Number 33, Foxtrot advisement, give the weather, no temps and approach request for Delaware Municipal.
We'll code November 33 Fox.
Delta 2067, contact Cleveland Center 119.87. Delta 2067, contact Cleveland Center 119.87.
Whoa.
119.87 for Delta 2067, thanks.
330 degrees, 7 knots. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky conditions broken at 950. Temperature 15. Dew point 12. Altimeter 3021.
021.
Automated weather observation, Delaware municipal. Wind 330 degrees, 7 knots. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky conditions broken at 950. Temperature 15. Dew point 12. Altimeter 3021.
KLM 622, contact Cleveland Center 119.87.
Broken at
Cleveland
950.
on 1987, KLM 622. Good night.
Retreat Foxtrot, I'm assuming you want the RNAV runway 28?
You're saying yes, that's correct, and we do have the weather at Delaware for the RNAV 28.
Retreat Foxtrot, cross identity at or above 3000 at Titanic with the RNAV runway 28 approach to Delaware Municipal.
Cross Titania at or above 3000, clear for the RNAV 28 approach into Delaware, Skyhawk 33 Fox. 9 or 6. Okay, Pycom at or above 3000, so I guess we can go ahead and start a descent now. Carpeet's on, power gen needs to come back just a little bit. Yeah, apparently we don't even need the foggles on today.
WestJet 2087, contact Cleveland Center 119.87.
Or Cleveland Center 119er, decimal 87 for WestJet 2087. Thanks to the ATC, good night.
Airwings 486, descent and maintain 6000.
Alright, let's put some power back in. We're 3200.
Descent maintain 6000,
I don't want to drop below 3000.
Airwings 46, flighting 100 at the Columbus altimeter 3021.
Heading 100 and Columbus altimeter 3021. Airwings 486.
Minimum is 1,195. Let's just call it 1,200 feet. We had a broken layer at 980 feet, according to the ASOS. So this could be interesting.
Turbo's 486, fly heading 110.
Heading 110, split wings 486.
Right to 286 in 4 seconds. Now 286. Standard rate turn. We want to cross under about 3,000, and we did. Alright, next is 2,600 at Weebut. So I guess we can kind of start a descent now. Carpete's still on. Power's gonna come out.
Airways 486, descend and maintain the 3,000.
3,000, split wings 486.
Let's just try and keep on that needle there.
Number 33 Foxtrot, no traffic observed between you and the Delaware Municipal Airport. What's your IFR cancellation in the air or on the ground at this frequency? Radar service terminated for change approved.
Over to C-Tap, we'll talk to you soon. Skyhawk 033 Foxtrot. 122.7. Delaware traffic, Skyhawk 033 Foxtrot is about 10 miles to the east on the RNAV runway 28 approach, Delaware. Alright, 2600 or 2700, let's put some power back in. I don't want to bust that 2600 altitude. We're still about 4.8 away from that fix. Double check our heading indicator to compass. And Sim Caesar, thank you again so much for the raid, my friend. Don't know if you're still hanging around, but as always, I greatly appreciate it. And Raiders, if you're still here, I appreciate you sticking around as well. Alright, 3.4 miles, and then from Weebut, we're on down to our DA of 1,200 feet. Delaware traffic, Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot, about 7.5 miles east on the RNAV 28 approach, Delaware. These here are what I would typically wear if we didn't have all these broken layers. Sort of a blinder. Alright, so we got the horizontal and the vertical needle coming in there now. So now we just gotta follow these needles. We're a little bit right and we're still a little bit low, but that horizontal's or vertical's coming in. Alright, car Pete's gonna come back on. Let's get ready for this descent. We're still a little bit left of our course, it looks like. We need some slight corrections here. That's one of my bad things of kind of doing S-turns on final, overcorrecting myself. I'll be the first to admit it. Happens all the time. Alright, so we're past Weebots. We can descend below 2600. That's good because I'm already down past it. Alright, foggos are on. Let's just follow these needles. I put those on because for a moment there I thought I had visual on the runway. So at 1200 feet I'll take them off. Alright, we're below. Let's put a little bit of power back in, stomp that descent. Now we're a little bit left again. We're 1900 feet.
Two-mile final runway 28.
Delaware Municipal Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot was on 2-mile final approach, runway 28. Full stop, Delaware. Two-mile final, 100 knots. Okay, let's go ahead and configure. Power's coming out. Pull some power back here. Let's try and get into that white arc. Okay, there she is. Let's grab 10 degrees of flaps. There's a bit of a bubble up. Oh, we're getting a bit high from that bubble up. There it is, coming back up there now. Oh, a bit high. What did I say our DA was? 1200 feet. We're still high. Let's pull some power back. Okay, it's coming back up there.
500.
500. Okay, there it is, a little bit left. 1300, or a little bit left. Put some power in there. Oh, we're low. Still slightly left. Put some power in. Alright, there it is. Alright, there's DA. Let's take these off. Let's see where we're at. Well, we're kind of on the glide slope. 2 red, 2 white. Although it was probably crooked as all get out on that final approach course. Downwind Sim, hello! Delaware traffic, Skyhawk 33 Foxtrot. Final approach, 28, full stop, Delaware. Just in time indeed. And I'll catch up on the chat in just a minute as soon as we make this full stop and determine our next destination. Flaps 2. Looked pretty good from the back seat, he says. I felt like I was all over the place. Alright, looks good, looks good. Took all the way down the end of the runway. Power out, transition, bleed it off. Alright. We'll exit to the right here. Get across the whole short line and now it's clear. Cancel our IFR. Delaware Municipal Traffic, Skyhawk 8033 Fox, we are clear of runway 28, Delaware. And the flaps up.
And Indiana Center, American 2445, good evening. We are direct to Clinton, 35, flight level 350.
Peter says, seems like from ATC's point of view, they have to hold other operations during your window, so if you're in the middle of nowhere, it probably doesn't matter much. But in a busy area, the polite thing to do would be at your hold until call when you're ready. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that probably makes sense. And see, normally, I guess I got messed up when he asked if I was ready. Normally, I don't get asked that. You know, I hold for the release, and then they switch me over to, you know, advisory, and then I'll do my taxi, and then I'll run up, and then I'll call like any center Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot, you know, on the ground of Morrow County, number 1 ready IFR, and then they'll go ahead and clear me for the release, and then all that good jazz. Brian says, hope you brought a good book to read on this flight. Not much to see. Once I get my PPO training complete, I'm going to spend some time improving my sim into a 172. Currently he has 3 screens, a yoke, rotor pedals, 5 gauges, radio stack, and switch panel trim wheel. Well, it's a lot more than a lot of other people have. Use 4Flight on an iPad mini. Well, I'm happy to be your inspiration there, Brian. Do you have plans for a sale showing dimensions you used? I do not have plans for sale, but since I am writing up a quality and assurance guarantee for the FAA, all of the plans are going to have to be made and documented, and then, you know, I will probably make that available to the public once that's all said and done. Beta 2. I was waiting for you to be Any Center Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot is on the ground at Delaware. I'd like to cancel our IFR. Oh. Indianapolis Center Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot is on the ground at Delaware. We'd like to cancel our IFR.
And number 33 Foxtrot, if you can hear this frequency, IFR cancellation is received.
Yep, I can hear you. Okay. Peter Mooney, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Beta 2, X-Plane Beta 2, I don't have any issues with it. I hear there's some problems that arose with Beta 3. One of them being GMT time not saving upon an exit, and then possibly a VRAM leak for some NVIDIA users. I've only read reports on that. I haven't experienced that in my testing environment, but I don't stream my testing environment because I test before it's released to the public in beta. So, okay. Alright, we're gonna kind of do this again here. Let's go ahead and tap carpet off. We'll taxi up here to the ramp, and then we'll make a new plan. Mrs. Squirrely 1, welcome aboard Felicity. My name is Michael, I'll be your pilot. Thank you so much for the channel follow. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, so we're just going to go right up here to the ramp. We'll take a look and figure out our new plan. And hopefully redeem ourselves on our departure radio technique and stuff here. Oh, yep, I read too many S's. I apologize.
2445, click direct Linda's.
Yep, I read too many S's. That is my fault. Mr. Squirrely. Thank you so much. And again, totally apologize about that. I do appreciate it, sir. Okay, let's take a look here. We're at Delaware. Where we want to go?
One, clear direct Wisna. Hey, clear direct Wisna, FedEx 1.
OSU might be a little bit close. Well, I guess we could do OSU. Why not? Like, right? Let's see. Flight plan. Clear. DLZ, OSU, procedure. I know they have an RNAV. They have lots of approaches. Mr. Squirrel, I use both. I use Navigraph for my navigational database, but when I fly here, I use ForeFlight. And downwind sim, let's take a quick look at that real quick. We can take a look at my track here. I was kind of, no pun intended, squirrely on the way down to the fix here. But if we take a look on the final approach, and we really kind of have to zoom in, but there's a traditional 3 Fox S-turns on final. Now we're right, we're left, we're right, we're left, we're right, we're left. I mean, it's not terrible, and I feel like it's getting better the more I do it, but it's still obviously evident there. Yeah, I do think it's improving the more I do it. So, alright, let's see, procedure. Into OSU approach, we'll try this RNAV 27 left. The ILS won't do us much good with these winds right now. I guess we could do the
Indy Center, good evening. UPS 4541 heavy.
Coney.
5,500 for 13. UPS 4541 and Indy Center. Climb to maintain level 3 at 20. On maintaining flight 320, UPS 4541.
Let's see, Appleton, now it's kind of far out of the way. We could do Coney though, because Dipney. Okay, if we do Dipney, Well, that would give us a hold in lieu of procedure turn. Yeah, we can do Coney though. Let's do that. Okay, add to route. Let's go ahead and pack for this, and then we'll go ahead and file this flight plan again.
Clark, this frequency, Indy Center will be back here in a couple minutes.
That's great. We'll be able to do this. Okay. Let's bring that idle up. Keep our charging system going. So let's file a new flight plan here on VATSIM. So this time we're departing DLZ and we're going to OSU. Altitude, we're close. Let's take a look at altitude requirements here. Coney, 3,000 feet. So that's what we'll do. We're going to file 3,000 feet. There's no sense in going all the way up to 4. Airspeed, we'll bump that to 100 knots. En route time, let's just say we have 3 hours and 30 minutes of fuel. Coney. Okay, and refile. I should probably change this time though. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that works there. Okay, good to go, good to go. Let's get our trim back for takeoff. Flaps are up. Run up is already done. And then we'll wait for them, Indy Center to come back, and then we'll call again. Let's double check our heading indicator to compass. That looks good. Anything else we should kind of go over here? Let's go ahead and get OSU ATIS on standby, 121.35. Okay. Okay, so that's on standby there. 1227 is on CTAF. Destination. Okay. Flight plan. We need to delete this flight plan. Delete. Yes. Destination. KOSU. And then activate. Procedure. Approach. Approach. RNAV 27 vectors. Now we want the Coney transition. Load, approach, and activate. Then once he gets back, we'll call for clearance again. if you are new to the channel, please go ahead and give us a follow so you can get notified of our next unscheduled adventure. And as always, if you come back, I do greatly appreciate it. And again, thank you so much, Sim Caesar, for that wonderful epic raid again this evening. Now when I'm flying under the foggles...
And A&D Center is back.
Alright, sounds good. Let's get weather again here.
Automated weather observation, Delaware Municipal. Wind 330 degrees, 8 knots. Visibility more than 10 miles. Rain. Sky conditions broken at 550. Temperature 14. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3022.
Okay, fuel elevation. Delaware is 945. Okay, that's good. Alright. Indianapolis Center, Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot. We are on the ground at the Delta Lima Zulu Airport, where the number is looking to pick up IFR to OSU.
And remember, Tree Foxtrot, A&D Center. You're good from the Delaware Municipal Airport to the Ohio State University Airport as filed. Maintain a tree 1000. Departure is on this frequency. Squawk 4507, hold for release.
Clear to the Ohio State University Airport as filed. Flight 3000. Departure is with you. Squawk 4507, hold for the release. Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot.
And number 33 Foxtrot, read back correct. How long till you are ready to go?
We need a couple minutes to get to the threshold. Skyhawk 33 Fox.
And number 33 Foxtrot, roger, let me know when your number 1 frequency change approved.
We will let you know, number 1. Frequency change approved. Talk to you soon, Skyhawk 33 Fox. Steven's great. Delaware traffic, Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot is at the ramp. Going to taxi runway 27 Delaware. Man, I'm going to have to come in and redo this airport. We got 2810 and... Okay, never mind. We're going to OSU when that's 2709. Delaware's still 2810. I don't know why I was thinking that. Well, downwind, I'll be honest. A lot, especially at the local airports around here, several of them need fixed. And I get through them, and then I fly them, and everything's good. And then sometimes I'll fly out of state. I was in Boise the other day, and I was given taxi instructions, but my X-plane scenery wasn't matching my current taxiway diagram. I was like, man, I gotta put that one on my list. And the problem is, I have like 150 airports on my list that I need to feel like need updated. And my other problem is trying to figure out how much is too much when it comes to updating airports. I'm working on Vero Beach right now, and and that's I've got 6 months invested in Vero Beach, Florida right now, and that's a lot of time for one airport, but keeps me busy, keeps me occupied, helps out the community. I'm sure you understand all too well. Like I'm a stickler for detail, and that's my problem. Like the minute details, I try to add those in. Different surface types, trees and things like that. The other thing I need to do is figure out, I have the entire United States and Alaska and Hawaii done in Ortho for XP, and they're done in Ortho 1.3. The newest one is 1.4, which adds X-Plane 12 water technology. I don't want to have to redo all of those tiles and download all of that imagery again, so I need to figure out which buttons in Ortho for XP I need to click just to bring it up to X-Plane 12 spec without having to download all of the imagery again. I do still have the imagery, yes. Yeah. I want to update it to 1.4, and I'm so used to just clicking the all-in-one, and when I do that, there's so many image already exists, and it literally scrolls like that forever. And I know there's a way to redo the tiles without having to redo, but there's like 4 or 5 individual buttons. I just don't know which one I need to click or which couple I need to click to just add that new water technology. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of here. Squawk is correct. 3000. I will be at FS Expo. Yes, I will be bouncing back and forth between X-Plane and the Virtual USA Flying Club, which I think is booth. I'll tell you real quick right here. I know I just had it here. So I'll be at booth 907 and 701, bouncing back and forth at FS Expo. Excellent, excellent. Come and see me either at X-Plane or at the Virtual USA Flying Club. Look forward to meeting you, Mr. Squirrel. Okay, alright. Indianapolis Center, Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot, holding short runway 28 Delaware, number 1 ready, IFR.
And number 33 Foxtrot in the center. Your release for departure, cleared to void if not off by 0325. Time now 0319er. If not off by 0325, advise this frequency not later than 0330. Report this frequency airborne, frequency change approved.
Clearance void if not off by 0325. We are cleared for the release, and we'll talk to you soon, Skyhawk 033 Fox. Alright. Go downwind sim if you can. That's absolutely great. If you can't, totally understand that too. Delaware traffic, Skyhawk 033 Fox. We're going to be taking runway 28 straight out, Delaware. Okay, strobes on. Okay, a little bit cloudy. Let's go and get our nav lights on. Okay, that's on. Let's get pitot heat on. Alright, we're ready to go.
Approaching runway 28. Entered runway 28. 5,700 feet remaining.
Okay, center line, full power, rudder to maintain center. Alright, we're in the green. Airspeed's coming alive. And let's rotate. Positive rate. Alright, there's our 400 feet or so, 500 feet. Let's go and switch over.
Indy 7 good evening, exec jet 52, we got a PDC left runway, should be expect our departure.
Alright, let's get on course.
Asking for a runway?
Exec jet 52.
137. Standard rate turn.
Exec jet 52.
137.
At Louisville, generally it's whichever one for the direction your departure goes. But if you're over at the general aviation ramp, then it's almost always the eastern runway.
Standard rate
Okay,
turn.
then 135 right, be okay.
Climb 3000.
Louisville is currently landing, departing 17 left and 17 right.
Sounds good, we can do 17 left for exec jet 52.
APS 4541, Kansas City Center is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Whoa.
Frequency change approved. GPS 4541 heavy. Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Brian, thanks for coming in. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Tires from there. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
What's doing? It was an absolute pleasure. Happy Easter. Talk to you soon, American 2445. See you.
Indianapolis Center, Skyhawk is 033 Foxtrot, 2,200, climbing 3,000.
And remember, tree Foxtrot, Indy Center, ident.
Identing November, tree Foxtrot.
Tree Foxtrot, radar contact 2 miles south of the Delaware Municipal Airport, the Columbus altimeter 3019er, with the ILS runway, or actually the RNAV runway 27 left approach.
019er, RNAV 27 left approach, Skyhawk 33 Fox.
Southwest 2542, Atlanta Center is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Frequency approved. Have a good rest of the night. Southwest 2542.
Alright, so when we get to Coney, we're going to fly out and do this hold and lure procedure turn. Kind of going to go out and then a 45-degree out and then make a 180 back in on the final approach course. Alright, there's 3,000 feet. Let's level off here.
Class Charlie in 5.5 miles.
That's one of the things that we always had to be cautious of when I was flying out of OSU, was a Columbus class Charlie, not very far off at departure.
Oh yeah, they center loud and clear.
Center, what is this 319 at Kentucky, requesting taxi to runway 27.
We'll dispatch 319 heavy. Which runway were you requesting?
27.
I thought maybe I heard a different runway. We'll dispatch 319. Runway 27, taxi via Sierra Mike.
Taxi via Sierra Mike, what is this 319, thank you.
I recently just learned what the pressure altimeter does on my airspeed indicator. So I can set that to like 3022. Kind of gives me my true airspeed. At least that's my understanding of it. Indicated versus true.
Delta 2861, contact Cleveland Center 119.87.
Gosh.
119.87 for Delta 2061, have a go and enjoy the stream.
I can't tell you how nice it is to actually have external speakers in my simulator now. Like, I can hear my engine up here, but when I add my flaps...
And 33 Foxtrot at Colony with the RNAV runway 27 at left approach. Report procedure should inbound.
At Colney, cleared RNAV 27 left approach, and we'll report inbound on the procedure turn, Skyhawk 33 Fox. It's just, it's really kind of something else. I hear my flaps behind me, my engine in front of me. You know, it runs through the front display off of the HDMI, so it's really kind of neat. ForeFlight gives me some enunciations. I have it give me runway enunciations and traffic enunciations, but it doesn't tell me, you know, when to turn, how to turn, what my altitude is. But it does tell me, you know, about airspace and things like that. There's settings that I can change as to what it actually enunciates. Let's go ahead and get our clock set here, because we'll have to run a timer. Yeah, we really don't need the foggles today. We really don't. It's kind of neat.
Indy Center, carrier wave only.
Adds a bit of realism to our instrument practice.
Indy Center low, Hawaiian 1611 ready to push.
Line 1611 Indy Center, do not control the cargo ramps in Cincinnati or really any of the ramps, so push your discretion.
Push out on discretion and we're at a comp taxi at Hawaiian 1611.
My primary scan is sort of an inverted V here on the 6-pack. Gives me everything I need to know about the attitude and altitude of my aircraft. I mean, obviously we're looking at everything, but my primary scan is essentially this inverted V. My turn coordinator, attitude indicator, and VSI. Jeffrey B coming in with a raid, and we're getting another raid from Jeffrey B, Party of 11. Thank you so much for coming in, sir. Greatly appreciated. Welcome on in, Raiders. My name is Michael. Welcome aboard Felicity. We are on the RNAV 27 left approach into OSU. And I'm coming in with a resubscription to the channel 26 months in a row, over 2 years. Wow, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Alright, we're 1 mile away from Coney. We'll fly outbound for the procedure turn. Oh, we descended below. Let's get back up there. At or above 3,000, Michael. Left to 063 now. Oh, didn't want to do that. Alright, let's go outbound for 1 minute.
American 504, Indy Center, welcome aboard your radar contact.
Alright, there's 1 minute. Let's go 45 degrees.
Hey, calling Indy Center, that was a carrier wave only.
We'll fly this outbound for another minute.
1611 rated taxi.
And 1611, information, whiskey is current. Runway 27, taxi via Sierra Mike.
Sierra Mike 27, and we copy whiskey for Hawaiian 1611, thank you.
Okay, 1 minute, then a standard rate turn back to 272.
World Express tree 19 heavy, the winds are tree 40 to 10, guess 17, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 27, World Express 319.
Sector 52, squawk mode Charlie.
Here we are. Let's level off.
should be at now, section 52.
Section 52, runway 17 left, taxi via Echo.
Yeah, Echo to 17 left, section 52.
Indianapolis Center, Skyhawk 033 Foxtrot, inbound RNAV 27 left OSU.
Number 33, Foxtrot, roger.
NMD Center, good evening, Southwest 2292 is out of 34.5.
Let's grab that horizontal there.
Yeah, Southwest 2292 in the center. I'm going to maintain level 350 and you are radar contact.
Alright, got about 3.2 miles till we get back to Coney, and which we're at about 3,000. 2,500 at Riddock. Alright, we're a little bit, got some visibility going on, so we'll put these foggers back on here.
Northwest 319, radar contact, say altitude.
Approximately 2,500, 60,
Northwest 319, climb and maintain level 290, turn right, direct Bangle.
Direct Bangle and deployment center, flight level 290, 160.
Alright, our decision altitude here is 1,153 feet with 1 mile visibility. So we're on the LPV.
Section 52, ready for departure.
Section 52, the winds are calm. RNAV to drop out, runway 17 left, clear for takeoff.
Alright, 1 mile from Coney.
Up 17 left, RNAV drop in section 52.
Direct 274.
Vertical track.
Center roll is 319, please take 271.
Northwest 319, say again?
Requesting 275 knots speed.
Northwest 319, speed is your discretion.
Right. Departing runway 27 left. 27 right. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra.
Ready to go, Mike 2.
Line 1611, winds are straight, 4010, gust 17, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Let's take off runway 271, 1611.
Section 52, radar contact, say altitude.
Altitude 1,800, section 52.
Section 52, climb and maintain level 250.
Level 250, section 52.
Alright, we're past Coney. We're at 2,500 to Riddock. About 4 miles out. Started descent, carpet on, power coming out. 2,500, so let's start to level off about 2,700 so we don't drop below that 2,500.
FedEx 1, Memphis Center is closed to radar service current.
That 2,500 foot hard deck.
Frequency change approved. FedEx 1, have a great weekend.
Hawaiian 1611.
Class Delta below in 3.6 miles.
Pass the 1400 for Hawaiian 1611.
And Hawaiian 1611, climb and maintain flight level 36
Our vertical is starting to come in slightly.
I'm maintaining flight level 360 Hawaiian 1611.
Vertical track.
Section 52, clear direct jackets.
Attention jackets, attention 52.
Hawaiian 1611, clear direct Akbar.
Okay.
Akbar, 1611.
3.3 till we get to Hubum, which is at 1420. Just need to follow these needles.
And remember, tree Foxtrot, the Ohio State winds are 340 at 8, runway 27 left, clear to land.
27 left, clear to land, November 33 Foxtrot. Oh, we're left, we're high. Alright,
Class Delta
we are in the wide arc.
0.5 miles.
Let's go ahead and, how far away are we? So a couple miles out. We'll hold off on some flaps, but we are a bit high and we are a bit left. Let's go ahead and try and reestablish on that there. Alright, horizontal's coming back in. (1,200 feet was our decision altitude.
Indianapolis Center, Hawaiian 1611, are we able to go out of cockpit for like 10 minutes?
3 mile final runway 27 left.
Let me know when you're back.
1611.
A little bit right, a little bit high. Still a little bit high. Let's try and arrest that descent. Repeats on. Okay, let's go and grab flaps 10. I don't know. I think we're close enough for some flaps. Alright. Prepare for that bubble up. Let's pitch down. Pull some power back. Let's go ahead and pitch down. Starting to come up there. Alright, 60 knots. It's fine for approach. 1,400 feet. A little bit low.
500.
Okay, there it is. A little bit right.
$500.
Alright, we're 1300 and 1150 was our DA. We look good there. We're a little bit left, a little bit high. Alright, we're 1250 more feet. There it is, 1150, and take the foggles off. Alright, we got ground contact, and runways in sight, environment's made. Flaps 2, on the glide slope. Power's going to come back, look all the way down to the end of the runway, rotate, bleed off that airspeed. Center down, see if we can get off here. Delta, not a problem. Carpete off, flaps up. This is one of my many X-Plane airports that have been released with X-Plane on the gateway. This one has a bit of
And remember, tree, Foxtrot, taxi to parking by Alpha.
Parking via Alpha, November 33 Fox. Thank you for your service. Have a good night, Stephen.
Good night.
So yeah, this airport is included with X-Plane, but I mean, the airport is. There's a couple of minor add-ons in this specific version that I did for the Virtual USA Flying Club for one of their events, and I'm pretty sure I'm still using that version here. I'll find out in just a minute.
World Express Tree 19, contact Cleveland Center, 119er.87.
Strobes going off.
119.87, World Express 319, good night.
So if the Welcome Virtual USA Flying Club sign is up here, then this is that version. If it's not up here, then I'm using the Gateway version of it.
Number 737 Alpha Foxtrot, NDS Center. Information of whiskey is current, runway 27, taxi via Mike.
Mr. Squirrel, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for tagging along. We'll go over here and we'll park here.
372 with you at
Alright,
13,000
great.
feet.
This is it. Let's see.
372, Indy Center, radar contact. Altitude indicates 5-volt tree at 20. Code direct and bonnet.
Clear direct to bonnet, United 372.
Yeah. This is, let's see. Alright, so this is my Gateway version, I think. So we have the Ohio State University Airport labeled over there. Then, let's see. Capital City Aviation should be right over. And then, speaking of updating airports, I just did this one a couple years ago and it needs updated again with so much construction they've had going on there lately. Capital City Aviation is where I trained out of when I started at OSU. It is right over here. So that's where we're shut down.
Indy Center, Hawaiian 1611,
Okay.
back to Carpet.
1611, welcome back.
Alright, looks good there. Alright, what do we got here? Descent, landing, pre-landing, after landing, did all that stuff. Flaps are up, crib heat's off, strobes are off, landing light off, pitot heat off. Okay, trim, set back for takeoff here. Okay, securing checklist, EOT, what time is it? We're close enough, we might be able to test that momentarily. Avionics are gonna go off, bus 2, bus 1. Mixture full lean. Mags to off. Master off. Okay, beacon off. Nav lights. It is not quite top of the hour, but let's go ahead and test the EOT, mostly because I just rewired it and I want to kind of make sure it's working. If it's not, I'm going to be kind of upset about my wiring job. Okay, wiring is good. Okay, brakes on. Parking brake on. Okay, control lock. Tach time 1050.4. Okay, chocks, tie down, speed, okay, all that stuff's exterior. Alright, let's head back to the hangar. We'll chit chat for a couple minutes. I got a couple of thank yous to give out. And then we'll say goodnight and see if we can't find someone to continue our flight simulation entertainment with this evening. See you there in just a minute. Alright everyone, again I want to say thank you for coming in, and parking brake, hello again. I'm sorry I didn't see your chime in earlier, coming in with the raid from Jeffrey B. I do apologize about that, but pleasure to see you again, happy to have you on board. What do I want to do here? I do want to give another very big thank you to Sim Caesar, who came in with this excellent raid, 95 viewers. When we first started our stream today. So again, thank you so much for that. And Grand Daniel, Mr. Squirrel, thank you so much for the new channel follows. And then Jeffrey B for his resubscription to the channel for over 2 years. Jeffrey, your continued support of the channel means so much, and I can't wait to see you again at FS Expo 2025 in Providence, Rhode Island. So quick recap of today's flight. Let's see if we can't pull up the track here. Departed out of my home airport of Morrow County, which was kind of over here, and that track has disappeared because we started a new flight. But we did IFR from the Morrow County Airport down to Delaware Municipal on the RNAV 28 into Delaware, and then we departed Delaware and flew the RNAV 27 left approach into OSU. We did the hold and Lua procedure turn. And of course, looking at the track, same deal. It's just, and I'll be honest, in the simulator, I feel like it's a bit more difficult to hold and maintain heading in the simulator than in the actual aircraft. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's a sensitivity thing with the controls, or if it's, a lack of, actual feeling of, the feeling in your butt, for lack of a better term. I feel like it's so much more difficult to maintain a heading in the sim than it is in the actual aircraft, even under the foggles. And so there could be some contributing factors there. But I do appreciate everyone coming in, and then you can kind of see again, here's our typical S-turns on the final approach course. But it seems like as I get closer to the runway, the S-turns don't seem to be as exaggerated for whatever reason. So yeah, I want to thank everyone for hanging out for these approaches today. Downwind Sim, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in, my friend. Mr. Squirrel, pleasure to meet you this evening. Hope to fly with you again soon. Parking Brake came in, said hello. Jeffrey B with his rate of 11. I do thank you for that and resubscription to the channel. Steven STW222, will probably raid him this evening if he's still streaming when we're done here. He was our friendly Indianapolis Center controller. Brian B out of Canada came in and said hello and flew with us for a bit. Peter Mooney said hello, coming in with the stream from Mr. Sim Caesar. Iowa Scotsman, always a pleasure. And again, new channel follow from Grand Daniel. Thank you so much. And Monster, again, pleasure to see you, my friend. So that is it for me. I do want to thank you all again for coming in. Flying is fun. It is always more fun when it is more than one, and you all make that happen for me. So I do greatly appreciate it. Let me take a look at my list here, and let's see who we can possibly go and continue our raid this evening. If you are new here to the channel, please go ahead and give us a follow so you can get notified of our next unscheduled adventure. And of course, like I said, if you have come back to see the channel, I do greatly appreciate it. Let's see. No. Yeah. So let's go and raid Steven, who is our Indie Center controller. I don't know how much longer he'll be streaming. I know it's going to be till at least midnight, but he is still online. So let's go and raid him. If you can't stay for the stream, please just stay for the raid. And again, you all have a wonderful evening, a great night. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I hope to see you tomorrow at some point in time with a plan that I've yet to determine yet. So, again, my name is Michael. You just flew aboard Felicity, and we will see you for our next unscheduled adventure. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.